Hi, everyone. I'm LaurieAnn. I am that gal from Milton, Ontario, Canada, and I am with.
I am that guy. I am Roy Miller from Dallas, Texas, and we would like to welcome you to our Lift Your Story podcast.
So, in this episode, we're very pleased to have Jill Wright. She is the CEO of Executive Shine, and she's also an author and referred to as the Queen of Shine. Thank you so much for being here, Jill.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you two. You were doing amazing things. I was looking over some of your podcasts that you've just recently done, and you're really doing a great job, like giving your audience so much information. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. So tell us about being the Queen of Shine.
Well, when I was 20 years old, back up a little bit. When I was 15, my dad, I graduated early from high school and a couple years early. And I had my stepmom kind of ruin my surprise. I was salutatorian of my class,
Wow.
and I wanted to surprise my dad. And so she told him my surprise, and then he told me that he had to choose between her and I, and that I would never make it without him. So part of my message now in business is to really connect with people and really believe in people, and that's kind of where that comes from. But I got a contract to do, I had a car accident in 1987. And then after that, I started shining shoes with a girlfriend of mine, which was totally crazy. And I thought, she's like, you should do this with me. It's so much fun. And I was like, oh, seriously, sister, you have lost your mind. You are 40 and that must be, midlife crisis time. So, but I did start working with her, and it was really fun. You meet fascinating people, and you do a really important service for them. It's very artistic. So you make them feel good, you listen to them, you engage, talk to them, and you make them look terrific. And so every 15 minutes, this person you've had a fantastic conversation with tells you you're wonderful. And then when you're done, then they give you money. It's fabulous. So it's a crazy business. But then I met someone from the Airports Authority in Washington, D.C., and he invited me to come to Washington. So my brother went to school at Johns Hopkins, so I thought, oh great, I get to be with my brother. And East Coast people are cultured, right? Because I came from Colorado, so it's the Wild West. So I thought, oh nice, I'm going to go to the East Coast where people are behaved. And that wasn't really the case. Mm-hmm. So I got the contract after a year of negotiation so I was the first youngest person to ever open in the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority. And of course, I didn't know anything. And they came to me in the beginning and they were like, we need you to file as a disadvantaged business enterprise. And I said, I've never been disadvantaged. I'm not, I've never been on social assistance or anything like that. And they're like, no. To be disadvantaged, you just have to make less than $30 million. I'm like, oh, well, then I've been disadvantaged all my life. So I started that business and I lied and said I was 26 because, it's not cool to be 20. People don't respect you. So I thought I need to be older than 25 because that sounds mature, right? Yeah. So I was 26 for like the next 10 years and really started working with customers. And I didn't know. I thought, well, what value do I really have to add? And what I discovered from doing that is that people are really, it doesn't matter what title they have, people are really longing for just that human connection, just that opportunity to be seen and just have a real conversation, and to be able to put their title, of CEO or senator or Supreme Court justice, aside, and just communicate as a human being, and have somebody respect and honor them for just who they are as a person. So that's where I kind of learned all of those skills in doing that.
So going back, to shining shoes. All right. So the thing about that is, like you said, there's all kinds of people you meet. I mean, it's a wide spectrum, right? But I can, as a guy, I can tell you there's two things. When you first get a haircut or when you get your shoes shined and you leave, that you have it's a great feeling. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. It's just like, oh man, I got a haircut, got my shoes shined. So yeah. I mean, and I can see where, a lot of people, you think somebody shining shoes is not a big deal, but when somebody does it really well, and how they do it, I mean, it is just like, wow, I can't believe it, But so
Right.
yeah, I totally get that.
So I have one really strange question because I actually had spoken to someone who was in that industry. How many strange socks did you see?
Oh, well, that's the really fun, that I have a fun story about that. I was in Washington, so, very conservative, 1987, so figure that's 33 years ago. No internet, Pan Am was still flying, so I mean, this a long time ago. And so it was boring looking at black socks. So I had this contest. I just, pulled it out of the air that I'm going to have a contest to see who can wear the funnest socks. And whoever wears the coolest socks gets a free shoe shine. And oh my God, it was like opening cages at the zoo. I mean, people, I was so shocked. People would come in, and I was in Washington, D.C. So when those mobile lounges dock and they look like a transformer vehicle, and then the doors open, I was right there in the midfield terminal in Washington. So they would open the doors and people would run off of that mobile lounge. And I was right there next to it, like 5 feet from the door. So they would run over and they would pull their pant legs up and they would show me. They would say, "Do I win? Do I win?" Like, I had my secretary go shopping for me, or I had my wife go shopping, and I'm thinking, oh my word. And I remember a conversation. I called my mom and I said, "Mom," I said, "I am in the nation's capital, and these men are shopping and having their assistants go get them crazy socks just to come and see me, just to win this contest." And it was crazy. So that's another thing that really taught me, wow, it doesn't matter if you're, the president of this company, or the senator, congressman, anything like that, that people need that connection, and people want to have fun, and they want to engage, and particularly men, they want to win. So you need to set them up to win in what you're doing. It was a crazy experience.
Love it.
I'm glad you asked that question. It's a goofy story, but it's very
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's that little thing, the difference it made. It's that one really little crazy thing, really, right?
yeah,
You had
totally.
no idea.
No, totally. And it's amazing to me, just paying attention. So I've put now with, after COVID, where I also have concessions in several other airports across the country, in Denver and in Charlotte. And with COVID, we were really shut down. So now I'm shifting to teach kind of some of these principles of connection to other entrepreneurs so that they can really now that, because that's the trick. It's, you've got a friend of mine has a restaurant, and because she is so connected and engages with her customers on Facebook, I mean, they're having, I'm going to post how we're doing every day, and I'm going to let you know how you're supporting me and how we're doing and all of this. She has tremendous engagement versus the restaurants that are not engaging, and they don't have those authentic connections and those really good relationships with their clientele. And because people want to be a part of something, people want to support you, they want that relationship. So creating that's really important.
Well, speaking of
That's true.
restaurants, I think LaurieAnn can tell you about
Yeah.
restaurants because she.
Well, I had a friend, well, he became a friend, and I was doing all his media, social media. And I did say that you want people to know you, but you've got to get out there, do lives, even if it's with your phone, go out there and send them to me and I'll get them out there. And at first he didn't want to do that, but then he realized, that is true. They did end up losing the restaurant through COVID, but it was very, very clear. Yes, you need the good food, but you need the good owner. And it makes people feel really, special when they come up, even, for a second, say, hey, how was your meal? I'm the owner. Just lovely to meet you. I'm whomever. And it becomes, like you said, somewhere that you can connect, where you feel at home outside of your home.
Yeah, everybody has favorite restaurants they like to go to, right? I mean, I like the Mexican food here. I like the Italian food here. I like whatever. But then when you go those places, and like you say, the owner or somebody comes up and says, Mr. Miller, how are you doing today? It's good to see you back. They hear me go over here, and they'll come to you. Hey, how was your fish? Was everything okay? Whatever, And so you're like, wow, these people actually care, And so, and everybody wants to be recognized, even if it's just, hi, how are you doing? Not just a number. So yeah, I
Absolutely.
totally
Well, I just put together a course, and I called it the Shine Principles. And so one of the first things under S for Shine Principle is to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you first, though, you really need to see yourself, but you also need to see your people, your employees, your contractors, however you work. You need to see the essence of the person. You need to see the best of them. You need to look for the best in them. And when you can set them up to win, and you see the best in them, and you set up those expectations so that they can really perform and show up as their best self, and then you recognize them for that, then all of those things, those connections, that comes out. We call it, my executive shine, our tagline is, it's all about the love. But it's because I say love rolls downhill. So when you love your people, then your people love your customers. So you don't need to really train for customer service per se. If your people are feeling good because you've honored who they are, then that energy, you feel it in your whole business. And everybody that walks by, they're like, wow, I think I'm going to stop there because it just feels really good over there. So it attracts people. So now I'm helping other entrepreneurs really implement those strategies in their business so that they can really secure their client base and increase their revenue. And when you treat people well, guess what? They want to do their jobs. They show up for work. You don't have the turnover. So then you have the freedom, which is why you got in business in the first place. So that's, what I'm about now, because there's such a need in the market to do that. People really don't understand. So
Yeah,
I'm
and that's synergy, the synergy that you're talking about, and the energy. People can feel it. I mean, if you walk into a place and you could see the staff kind of that is transferred. It doesn't matter. And a lot of people are intuitive and they will feel it. So you're absolutely right. If you build that proper upwards energy, your clients will feel it too.
Yeah,
well,
and I worked for a company for 10 years, and the owner was very.
oh
Yeah.
no,
Oh, he'll be back. No
we
worries.
lost Roy.
Yeah, okay. He did a lot of things for us. He took care of us, and he always made us feel like we were important, you know. And when you look forward to going to work, even though we really worked long hours and we worked hard, but still, that we knew that appreciation was there. He was going to do stuff for us and all that. So uh, I worked at another company for about 7 years, and when you went in that place, it's like going into a freezer. Even the people that called on us, salespeople that called on us, they say, "Man, this place is just when you come here, it's y'all got a weird
Yeah.
vibe here." And says, "We think that's bad. You ought to work here." But yeah,
Yeah.
so
And appreciation is free.
mhm.
I tell people love is free. So I mean it's the single most important ingredient in your business to keep your people and your customers, just like you said, they can feel it. When I'm training people, I walk them through the airport past different businesses, and I say, can you feel the energy coming from this business? And before that, they were really not aware that together that they were creating an attraction, creating energy in their business that attracts people in.
Well, you think about it, you go to a lot of them, they're sitting there with their head down on their phone. They don't even
Exactly.
think, they don't, you have to go up and say, "Hey, pardon me, can you help me?" or whatever. They don't, I mean, there's no customer service in their attitude at all. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess.
It was funny. I actually went into, I won't say the name of the store, but it's a big box store. And I walk up with my stuff and the kid's like this. And I just stood there. I didn't say anything and I waited. It had to have been like 2-3 minutes, which is a long time to wait when
Yeah.
someone's on their phone. And it was one of his colleagues that said, "Hey, whatever your name is, someone's standing there in front of you." I'm going,
Yeah.
I thought, if I had done that in any of my jobs, I'd be fired.
Out, gone.
Yep. Yeah.
Totally. I'm raised old school. You're out the door. You
Yeah.
do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, you need some more time on your phone? Take all you need now.
Right. Exactly.
I was just completely in awe about this. And it's a really nice store. Most of the people that you do talk. And I thought this one, how do you do that? Yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And the same thing with the please and thank yous. It was weird because I'm not going to mention who it was either, but an executive, and I was working with him, and he would bark orders, get this done, do this, and I said, why don't you ever say please or thank you? He goes, I don't have the time.
Oh, yeah, right.
I went, wow, it takes 2 seconds to say, can you please get this done? And thank you at the end when they get it done. And I thought that was something I couldn't believe. Yeah, I don't have the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
It's
for that.
amazing. Kindness goes so far.
I agree.
And just implementing those little pieces in your business, that makes all the difference. I mean, that's a pass fail. That's
Yeah.
you are either going to succeed in business or not. And it's based on that, which
Well, he
is,
succeeded. He's done very, very well. But it was just amazing that, and it seemed like the people around, I think I was more aware of it than the people around him, but it was, yeah, I couldn't believe the answer is basically what it came down to. It
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah, well,
pretty cool.
no excuse.
but in
So,
those service businesses, if you don't take care of people and you don't recognize and appreciate, you're done.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely in the service business. It's all about service. Period.
And more and more and more because the competition's getting bigger and bigger and bigger out there.
It
Mhm.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, you can develop relationships that carries that on. I know when I first started my career, relationships was what it was if, all about. If you didn't have a relationship with somebody, it was hard to do business with them. Fast forward to like the late 80s, early 90s, all that changed. It was the dollar. Cheapest
Yep.
price, cheapest price.
Loyalty's out the door.
That changed in towards the later 90s when all the internet and all the telecom was really starting to take off. Then it was about, I don't care how much it costs. Can I move in this day? Can you have this done by this day? Well, then in the early 2000s, the dot-com bust, all that happened. Then it was back to the dollar, dollar, that's it. Well, yeah, but no, this guy's more expensive, cheaper than you. Yeah, but they can't do the job. Doesn't matter, they're cheaper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just, I don't get the logic, but anyway.
Bit of a shift though in 2020.
Do
Yeah.
what? Oh yeah.
Right. Crazy. But that's what carries you through, Roy. I mean, you made such a good point that it's those relationships and building that relationship capital. And a lot of entrepreneurs just starting out, they know how to do what it is they do, and they know how to have a great tech solution and all of these kind of things, but they don't understand that just as valuable as their solution is their relationships.
Yeah.
And how they are connecting. And
I used to have to go to meetings with owners and stuff, and so this like I was in the electrical contracting, okay, so we'd go on this job site, and the owner of the construction company would be telling yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Then our guys say, yeah, the electrical, like the estimators say, we're going to have this. And I remember one time the owner of the construction, he said, come here, I want to talk to you. I said, okay. He goes, can you get this done on time? I said, well, I can get you moved in on time. We may have to put some temporary light fixtures in because the ones that you ordered may not get here on time, but we can get you moved in on time. We have to come in on the weekend and change out he said, but you can get me in on time. I go, yeah. He said, okay, I believe you. I don't believe him. He just tells us what I want to hear. I know he'll tell me the truth. And so,
Nice.
and that happened to me several times. They would come to me and say, all right, I heard the BS over here. I want to know, can you do it? And if I said, I don't think so, or it's going to be tough, then that's what they, but I always had to deliver on that promise.
yeah, keeping your word and doing business with integrity is another thing I talk about in that Shine course, because it's super important that people can depend on you. And when the value, when people trusted you because you show up, in integrity, and that's just so important.
Yeah.
So you're an author as well. Do you want to give us a quick overview of your books? It'd be lovely to hear.
Well, yes, sure. I was a part of the One Habit book. So I talked about my very secret entrepreneurial habits in that book. So you have to read it to find out. And then I was also we just released this book. I just got my copy a couple days ago on December 6th, called The Codes of Longevity. And it really deals with mind, body, spirit, soul, all of the aspects of who you are and how you can live your best life. And so I'm really honored to be included in this. There's 25 other doctors in this book. And in my chapter, I talked about my subject, which is human connection and the value. And they show not only does human connection provide you, 10x in the success in your business, but it also can extend your life up to 50%.
Wow.
So it's really, there's some really important pieces in there, and you can just go on codesoflongevity.com and order it right on Amazon. So it's been really impactful. We already are in bestseller in 3 different categories before we even launched. So
Yeah.
something that people are really needing right now. You know, how to
Absolutely.
live your best life, and how to, if you're going to have longevity, how to have it with quality.
Yeah.
I like that.
So,
So, Jill, how can our listeners reach out to you?
well, if it's okay with you, I did create a special little gift for your audience.
Okay.
And so if they go to theshinegift.com, they can get my free 7 secrets to authentic connection, and then they can start to learn about how to really engage, how to make those authentic connections and up level their relationships in their life and their business, and then also how it impacts their health. So they can just go right there, and they can sign up on to be on my mailing list there as well. And they can register for the Shine Principles course, and they can get all of that information right there.
Perfect.
It was theshinegift.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Real
make sure I got it right.
simple.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Real
LaurieAnn, did you have anything else?
No, I just love this. This was great. I love the story about the shoes and the socks, and
Yeah.
but even more so at the very end, 50% longer.
Yeah, that was a surprising statistic to me, 50%.
Yeah. Harvard did a big study on that they've done over an 80-year span. And that's showing that people who have real connection in their life, as they grow older, they continue to thrive because of that. And that's a big concern right now too, with the isolation that we are now in with the pandemic. That's been, to kind of a crisis point, is the things that are happening because of the disconnection. So now connection is more important than ever and more impactful.
Absolutely.
Great.
Well, really, thank you so much, Jill. It's been wonderful having you on our podcast. Really
Yes,
enjoyed it.
has. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like I just had a great conversation with my 2 best friends.
Excellent.
And thank you for showing up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, and thank
Yeah.
you for doing business with, really wanting to tell people's stories and to really do business with the integrity that you do. I think that's going to, continue to make you really, really successful. So I wish you all the luck.
Well, thank you very
thank
much.
you so much. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for being with us.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.